Yeah, going, and that temple gonna be destroyed, man.
Oh yeah, done. See, all people worshiping Christmas, man. And you know this? Like when I got to this truth, right? And I learned about Christmas. I knew about Christmas was false. You know what I'm saying? But not to a degree like I know now.
Come on, you me Amos 5:21? Real quick, let me hear that. 21, that was a 23. Because that's
the book of Amos chapter 5 verse 21. I despise your feast days.
Yeah, the Most High said he hates that, man. Because when you reverence Christmas or any of these pagan holidays, you're reverencing other gods, whether you know it or not. When the Babylonians did it, they were doing it to Tammuz, Jeremiah the 10th chapter, man. Put gifts underneath for Tammuz, the son of Semiramis and Nimrod, the incest son of Semiramis and Nimrod, man. So I'm saying, and that's who you're reverencing. What does a Christmas tree got to do with Jesus? What does Santa Claus got to do with Jesus, man? You Christians out there, answer that question. What does flying reindeer and elves and the North Pole got to do with anything with the Bible? That shows you how wicked these people are, man. Those are pagan traditions, man.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 65, verse 2. I have spread out my hands all the day unto a rebellious people, which walking in a way that was not good after their own thoughts, of people that provoke me to anger continually to my face, that sacrifices in gardens and burning incense upon altars of bricks.
Yeah, and they were doing that during the time of Ezekiel. And they doing that today in these churches, man. So I'm saying, eating swine's flesh. You're going to have their ham tomorrow at church, you know what I mean? They're all that wickedness, man. And then the Most High said, and you doing it supposedly in the name of the Lord. So you provoking them to anger. So that's why when Jacob's trouble come, no mercy is going to be shown to you. Because how did the Most High stretch forth his hand to you? Through the prophets, man. That's why I get Jeremiah 7:22. Through the prophets, man. That's the mouthpiece. Because he don't come down and tell you nothing. It's through his men, man.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 7, verse 22. And it says, for I spake not unto your fathers, nor commanded them in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt, concerning burnt offerings or sacrifices. But this thing commanded I them, saying, obey my voice, and I will be your power, and ye shall walk, and you shall be my people, and walk ye in all the ways I have commanded you, but that may be well unto you.
Yeah, the law, statutes, and commandments. Keep reading.
But they hearken not, nor incline their ear, but walk in their counsels and the imaginations of their evil heart, and went backward and not forward.
Keep reading them here.
Since that day that your fathers came forth out of the land of Egypt unto this day, I had even sent unto you all my servants the prophets.
That's the point I wanted to bring out. Every time Israel went off, the Most High sent his servants, the prophets. That's what the prophet's job was. And the majority of the time, the prophets was cursing out the Most High's people, man. Read the Bible, man. The Most High's main problem was with Jake, man. That's the reason why the Babylonians took us down, the Persians, the Greeks, the Romans, when the Lord was on the scene. They rejected the Lord. Get Matthew the 21st chapter. You see what I'm saying? They rejected the Yahawashi. But you either call Jesus Christ a black man. The Most High said, I sent to you the prophets, and you despised them, man. And we see it today.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 1. And Yahawashi went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to slew him the buildings of the temple. And Yahawashi said unto them, see ye now all these things? Verily I say unto you, there should not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming in the end of the world? And Yahawashi answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
And that's going into Esau, says Ray Bourget. Okay, but hold that real quick. Get Matthew 21. This goes into how Israel rejected the prophets, man. And the Lord gonna break it down. Matthew 21 verse 23.
The book of Matthew, chapter 21, verse 23. And when he was come into the temple, the chief priests and the elders of the people came unto him as he was teaching, and said, by what authority doest thou these things? And who gave thee this authority? And Yahawashi answered and said to them, I also will ask you one thing, which ye tell me. I in likewise will tell you by what authority I do these things. The baptism of John, whence was it? From heaven or of men?
Oh, so so matter of fact, jump to 33. He gonna get to the point.
Okay. So, Matthew 21 verse 33.
So who's the Lord talking to? His own people. Did he write the chiefs, the elders, the Pharisees, the Sadducees? This is the point. Read on.
Here another parable. There was a certain householder which planted a vineyard and hedged it round about, and digged a winepress in it, and built a tower, and left out the husbandman, and went into a far country. And when the time of the fruit drew near, he sent his servant to the husbandman, and they might receive the fruits of it.
Right, so he sent his servants to the husbandman, and keep reading.
And the husbandman took his servant, and beat one, and killed another, and stoned another.
Keep reading.
Again he sent other servants more than the first, and they did unto them likewise.
So the husbandman kept killing who? These servants. Long story short, who's the householder? The Most High. The husbandman is Israel. The servants are the prophets. It's a parable. So every time the householder kept sending the servants to the husbandman, Israel, they kept killing him. They kept stoning him, man. Keep reading.
Fine. And it says, but last of all he sent unto them his son.
There you go. That's how you know it's the Most High. Okay? So he kept sending the prophets, and they kept killing them. So he said, you know what? Maybe if I send my son, maybe they might listen. Let's read.
It says, they will reverence my son. But when the husbandmen saw the son, they said among themselves, this is the heir. Come, let us kill him, and let us seize on his inheritance. And they caught him, and they cast him out of the vineyard and slew him.
And didn't they give the Lord up to the Romans? There you go. So Israel, the Lord just broke it down in the parable. Israel never listened to the prophets, man, and neither did they listen to him. But like the Lord said, when you read verse 42, read that real quick.
Book of Matthew, chapter 21, verse 42. Yahawashi said unto them, did ye never read the scriptures? The stone which the builders rejected, the same has become the head of the corner. This is the Lord's doing, and it is the marvelous in your eyes.
So anybody that rejects this stone, like it says in Daniel, you're going to be grinded to powder, man. And guess what? All those men are back today. The Israelites that rejected the Lord 2,000 years ago are back today. The chief elders that rejected the Lord 2,000 years ago, that knew he was the Messiah, are back today. The elders, the scribes, the generation that believed on the Lord are back today. Everybody's back. Everybody's back in their lot, man. You see what I'm saying? But you're going to receive your judgment in this day and time. Bring on what you want.
And that's why a lot of people are here today on this earth.
Come on.
That's why they are here. What? For judgment.
Judgment.
The Most High is ready. The Most High about to put judgment on this place and people.
Come on.
So when you see the population so ridiculous, it's time for that almost judgment.
7 billion people.
That's 7 billion plus people. That's what the Most High is bringing everybody back.
Everybody back.
Everybody back.
Because they said, what, 1929, there was only like 2 billion people. So less than 100 years later, you got 7 billion.
Yeah, that's
Why?
like
Why they back on the earth?
Doing like the early 50s with the baby boomers.
Yeah.
You know, he's bringing everybody back.
Bringing everybody back, man.
Back like, yo.
And you see
everybody
all
back.
these Israelites are sodomites because they were doing the same thing back in Greece and Rome.
Right.
When the Greeks came and tackled the temple, it said a lot of Jews willingly followed the ways of the Greeks, man.
Yep.
They're back here today, those black Greeks.
Yep.
They're back here today, man.
Same thing as you read in the Apocrypha with the
Second Ezra 14?
Yeah, Second Ezra 14 when it comes to we're gonna get to later Hanukkah.
Let me read it to you now.
You know what I'm saying? That we follow the license of the Greeks. We took the license of eating pig, doing all these things they gave us we could do, and we do it. Why? We got comfortable. We didn't want to do what the Most High's laws, man. You know? That's why the Most High got to deal with our people first, man. Our people's wicked, man. Our people's wicked as hell. So what we're having back then, we still doing it now, but at a higher rate. You know what I'm saying? At a higher rate.
Bring it out for you. Second Ezra 14:35. This reincarnation. For after death shall the judgment come.
After death, we gotta get on to
For after death shall the judgment come.
After death shall the judgment come, man.
When we shall live again.
When we shall live again.
Then shall the names of the righteous be made manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared. So if we are the elect, that's what then we were the men back then.
Right. If we don't know if we're gonna be the elect, that's why we have hope. That we hope that we part of the elect. See, the Most High knows if we're gonna make it or not, but we don't know. So that's why we got to push forward and hard and show good works, man. You know. So that's why when it's time for judgment, your works better be good more than evil, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what's gonna get you going.
That's what's gonna save you.
That's what's gonna save you, man.
It ain't all you got them other guys. It's all about the law. It ain't all about the law. We're rehearsing the law, but it ain't. You ain't gonna be saved. Basically, it's 3. I'm gonna read it. Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 7. It says Second Ezra chapter 9, verse. We start for 4. Then thou shalt well understand what's going on. Shalom, shalom, brother. It said, then thou shalt understand that the Most High spake in these days that were before thee, even from the beginning, which all the terrible things that's going to happen. For like as all that was made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, which we live in it now. Even so the times also the highest have made plain beginnings and wonders, and powerful works, and endings, and effects, and signs. This is the point. And everyone that shall be saved, and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, man.
Works and faith, not just the law, faith and works. So it's
putting in the work, man.
Yeah, putting in work. You coming out here, you know what I'm saying? We coming out here in all the 4 seasons. You know, any weather we come out here. As long as it's bearable, we're not coming out here, it's like below 32 degrees. The Most understands, like, okay, you know, we understand you gotta use wisdom.
It's a tornado.
Yeah, it's a tornado.
That's tempting the spirit, man.
Or ice coming down. Yeah, like
that's
we're doing it. The spirit, but if you could come out and stand out for even where we live at, it gets cold. But if we could do the work for an hour and a half, we doing the work. As long as it's not like raining hard and all that. Sometimes when it rains, we got a place to go under for the bus. And we stay there, we keep preaching.
You want to be saved.
Yeah, man. So this is, right now, this is, it's not a fast pace, this is a marathon, man. You know what I'm saying? And this takes time, and you're going to endure. That's just endure.
That's a good
endure. When you endure, make good sacrifice, man. That means that you're going to go all through the stuff that, the temptations.
You're going to take L's.
You're going to take L's, but as long as you get back up and dust off and be like, all right, and don't fall back into it, because sometimes we do that. Sometimes we do go backwards, and that's why.
Don't have doubts.
Yeah, that's why we have. Sorry, brother.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, verse 20. For what glory is it if when ye be buffeted for your faults, ye shall take it patiently? But if when ye do well and suffer for it, ye take it patiently, this is acceptable with the Most High.
Right, it's acceptable for the Most High. Be patient. It's gonna come. You know what I'm saying? Be patient, you know, and just keep doing what you gotta do. Yeah, sometimes we won't be like, oh man, the Most High, you gotta come in, but patiently, man. Go ahead, brother, keep reading.
For even here unto where ye call, because Yahawashi has suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps.
Right. So what would Yahawashi, you call Jesus Christ? What he did, we must follow. What, to be humble? But he was humble, even though he had the Father behind his back, and people back then knew. He could have snapped his fingers and be like, but no, he waited patiently.
And that gotta burn you too.
Yeah, you gotta,
Like for Edomites to spit on you and beat you, and you got the power to take him down.
Humility.
Yeah, he had to eat that. Yeah.
We went through it. He went through it, so we gotta suffer it. We gotta go through it.
Yeah.
That's what it says. Carry the cross. Doesn't mean to wear a cross around your neck. It means to what? To carry the burden, the affliction.
Yeah.
That when he went through, we gotta go through it too.
Yeah, they beat on the Lord badly. They smacked him in the head, said, if you're a prophet, which one of us did that? Jakes did that. Those were Negroes that were doing that, man. And he had to eat that, man.
Yeah, you gotta take it. And guess what?
But when he come back in this day and time, it's gonna be different. Now all you Negroes are back. All you Israelites that did that are right back.
Even the guy who poked him, he's back. He said he'll raise him up.
The Edomite is back. He's back here, man.
Raise him up and say, yo, even the guy who poked me, I'm gonna bring him back.
He's probably a general in the American Army or somewhere, man.
I got that. The book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 5. And from Yahawashi Mashiach, who is the faithful witness and the first begotten of the dead, and the prince of the king of the earth, unto him that loveth us, and washed us from our sins in his own blood, and hath made us kings and priests unto Yahawah and his Father. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Behold, coming with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him.
God. And the clouds are what? And there's been a lot more UFO sightings, man. A lot, man.
Yeah, even
you saw the one on the internet where it looked like a hand grabbed it. It was blue, and it went back in the sky.
That's like we see chariots. Yeah. We see chariots where we live at. We live in where we see chariots over here. And when I moved to Pennsylvania, I've been seeing chariots lately, and my boy who was coming from the movies, and I said, look, and he said, what do you think that is? And he looked, he was like, he said, that's not, it can't be an airplane, because an airplane don't stand still like that. And he waited for a while, he was like, he said, that's a UFO, right? And I said, yeah. And he was like, yo, you serious? I said, yeah, look, just stay here, watch. I said, I'm gonna say the name, Yahawashi, I was shot, and started blinking. And I was like, yo, you see? And he was like, yo, that's crazy. He said, that thing must be big because that thing's kind of close. I was like, yeah, I mean, that might be the mothership, who knows, man? So that's why, because when in Jeremiah 10, when the Most High give us signs for the signs of heaven, that the heathens be dismayed at them. These are signs the Most High's giving us, man.
God.
So when we see a chariot,
that's the vehicles of your deliverance.
Yeah, man. Or you see a chariot, or you see shooting stars, or you see certain. Don't be like, like, no, just look at it as a sign, man. Every time I see a sign from the Most High, he's still dealing with me, man. Yeah. And that's why I show like, yo, that's beautiful, because he's been patient with us, man. Yeah, even the Most High's patient. You know what I'm saying? Gotta be. Yeah, because even it says 1,000, one day to him is 1,000 years, man, for us. You know what I'm saying? So he's been patient. You know what I'm saying? He's a very patient power.
If not, all Israel would be destroyed already.
Quick, man. So if he's patient.
Matter of fact, get 2nd Ezra 6. No, 2nd Kings.
2nd Kings.
Verse 2nd Kings chapter 6. Let's start from verse 8.
The book of 2nd Kings, chapter 6, verse 8. Then the king of Syria warred against Israel.
So the Syrians came up against Israel. Read on.
And took counsel with his servants, saying, in such and such a place shall be my camp. And the man of the Most High said unto the king of Israel, saying, beware that thou pass not such a place, for thither the Syrians are come down.
And that was Elisha. Keep reading.
And the king of Israel sent to the place which the man of the Most High told him and warned him of, and saved himself there, not once nor twice. Therefore the heart of the king of Syria was sore troubled for this thing. And he called his servants and said unto them, will ye not show me which of us is for the king of Israel? And one of his servants said, none, my lord, O king, but Elisha, the prophet is in Israel. Tell the king of Israel, the king of Israel, the words that thou speakest in thy bedchamber. And he said, go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, behold, he's in Dothan.
So the king of Syria wanted to kill the man of God, the prophet Elisha, man. Keep reading.
Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about.
So they compassed the entire city, man. Read on.
And when the servant of the man of the Most High was risen early and gone forth, behold, a host compassed the city both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, alas, my master, how shall we do?
So Elisha's understudy was scared. He was scared because they surrounded the city. And these things are going to happen again through the time of martial law. But keep reading.
And he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they are be with him.
And he didn't understand what he was talking about. He said, they that are with us are more than they that be with them. And he didn't understand what he was talking about, but he's going to bring out the point now. Read on.
And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes, that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of the fire round about Elisha.
Angels, man. He opened his eyes, man. He saw all the chariots, man. And that's why the scripture says the angels of the Lord encamped round about those that fear him. Obviously, we can't see them. But you know what I'm saying? But Elisha prayed to the Most High to open his eyes, man. His pineal gland, man. And he saw all the chariots that were round about them, man. You see what I'm saying? And that's going to happen again.
Scary, huh?
Yeah, that's going to happen again, man.
Yeah, that's why we got to turn the grip to the Most High, man.
Like you ever see Independence Day, right?
Yeah.
They got that from
The Bible, I know.
All these UFO movies, matter of fact, with the original and the remake, War of the Wars. You know what I'm saying? War of the Worlds, right? With Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And he heard.
That's the trumpets, right?
The trumpet, yeah. That was the trumpet,
And he was
like, yo.
with that laser.
Yeah.
He was running,
People
boy.
just turned to powder, man.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
so it shows you, man. It tells you. And the funny thing is that these things exist.
It's gonna be a scary day for people, huh?
It's gonna be for everybody.
Even the elect.
Even the elect is gonna be shook to death.
Those sounds are gonna be dark, right?
It's gonna be
It's
dark.
gonna be dark outside, right?
Well, get Amos 5:18.
I'm about to get that right now. I'm about to get
Yeah,
that
that's right. I
right
gotta go to
now.
work, man. I'm late.
Yeah.
I don't want to, but I like, I'll be here all day with you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm going to
Money,
right
yo.
now.
Yeah.
The book of Amos chapter 5 verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Darkness, because there be so many chariots.
He's going to block out the sun.
Don't block out the sun,
people
man.
think it's gonna be him nice and everything, and
Nah, man. This time when Yahawashi comes, Jesus Christ comes,
Right.
ain't gonna be no parade, no confetti, high fives, balloons. Hey, we miss you, and nah, man, it's gonna be what?
the
It's
channel,
gonna
'cause I
be
couldn't
death,
find
man.
I got precept.
Yeah, brother.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn.
The tribes of the earth, all these different nations gonna mourn because they gonna know in the back of their mind, holy shit, this is it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? they gonna know whatever rulership they have, they gonna lose it.
Yeah, I wake up thinking about that day every day.
But the scripture says, woe unto them that is what end is for you. You gotta make sure you right, brother. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah,
We gotta make sure we right.
Yeah, exactly.
Observe myself, like, what am I doing wrong? You know?
And none of the Christian church read these scriptures. They don't want the Lord to come back, man.
I got a question before I go. What if y'all can answer? You know, we don't celebrate Christmas because the Nimrod or whatever.
Right.
We celebrate Hanukkah or Hanukkah, but it's the feast of
Feast of dedication.
When I don't know, like, I'm not up to date. I'm still learning.
That's
like,
right.
Well, it's in the winter time, so the end of November to around this time.
It's done.
Every
right?
brother do it like it's around the same time most brothers do it, but it's in this season.
Yeah, because I lose family because of it, because I don't celebrate. Like my parents, like they don't, like my father don't like me too much no more, because
I went through it.
I love all my family.
Matthew 10:34.
They think I don't like them. Like I still love y'all. Like I just don't have the same beliefs.
No, I'll be telling me, I'm following these scriptures.
Exactly. I'm like I'm following what you told me to follow, and then when I show you something,
Brother, he's been in the truth a little over a year.
And both of y'all from the same tribe.
You was a car? Me too, man.
And this brother's going through it.
Just curse.
He used to call me a lot. He used to cry sometimes. He used to be like, I say, I told you in the beginning, you're going to go through it. I went through it too.
Yeah.
I went through it too with my family. Like he knows.
Yeah.
He knows. One time we was preaching over here.
Yeah.
And then my father kicked me out and be like, yo, here, all my brother came with all my bags. I was like,
you know what's crazy?
Whoa.
But it's a scripture. Read it real quick before the brother.
Matthew 10:4.
34.
Go, man.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask somebody, but I I see you last week. You were here
because
last week.
because of the snow and the rain. Yeah.
The book of Matthew said, 10 verse 34. Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I come not to send peace, but a sword.
Can you read it?
For I am come to set a variance against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and her daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
Keep reading.
And a man's foe shall be they of his own household.
And that's what the Lord said. That's what's gonna happen.
Your own household, huh?
Yeah, man foe shall be they of his own. I mean, as the more you learn, you can learn to maneuver around them. The more wisdom you